Level 1. You spent your life being lazy. You convinced yourself that you're not sporty. Sure, you went for an occasional jog, but you belonged more in front of a computer. You were always this weak guy, and you thought this was how you would remain for the rest of your life. People suggested that you go to the gym, but to you, it has always been this shadowy, scary place with big machines that might kill you. Level 2. One afternoon, you strolled past your local franchise gym. Maybe it's a Planet Fitness, or a Basic Fit, or a Good Life, and all of a sudden, you are filled with a certain surge of energy. It propels you inside. As you get to the reception, the pounding music, the buff dudes and girls, the clatter of weights, and the cacophony of moans and groans almost stop you in your tracks. Heart racing, you gather the courage to ask the staff for a free trial and a quick tour. Your body seems tiny in the sea of muscles. They show you how to do a bench press. You're barely able to lift the bar. You feel embarrassed as you see the people around you lifting hundreds of kilos all at once. That's until you realize that no one is staring. And in that moment, the gym, for the first time in your life, fills you with motivation rather than fear. You feel determined to be as strong as the people around you. Level 3. At this stage, you start hitting the gym regularly and can't believe how fast you're improving. You smash PRs left, right and center. And you also have a workout routine you got online. You check your form with every movement. Who needs a personal trainer when you've got Jeff Nippard? You're riding high on the wave of newbie gains. At this point, you also start getting into the gym subculture. Your For You page is a non-stop loop of Jeff Nippard, Sam Sulek and Dr. Mike, punctuated with gym memes and gym talk reels. You got hardstyle pumping through your headphones, and you pay your homage to Ziz in your bathroom mirror. At this point, you really start feeling yourself, and you feel like you can do anything. Even girls are giving you more attention. You feel so good. Level 4. At this point, you get serious about fitness. You can no longer rely on whatever your mom makes. You need to track every calorie, every gram of protein, carbs and fat, vitamins, zinc and creatine. Nothing escapes your spreadsheet. You start tracking everything and really get into the nitty-gritties of it all. Each morning begins with the scale and a jab from the fat caliper. A perfect body requires meticulous craftsmanship. At this point, you also get serious about science. You have graduated from Jeff Nippard University, and now you actually start reading peer-reviewed papers yourself. You read studies on maximizing hypertrophy and strength, on increasing mobility, on the perfect form and perfect levels of rest and nutrition. You experiment with long-length partials and blood flow restrictions and getting rid of cardio. You turn your kitchen into a supplement lab with creatine powders, electrolytes, pre-workout, beta-alanine, branched-chain amino acids, multivitamins and just a bunch of shit. You consume more powders than actual food. You know the macronutrient profile of every meal and the anatomy of every muscle group. You're not working out to get girls anymore, but to become the best. Level 5. At this stage, you go to warm Venice Beach in California and join the mecca of bodybuilding, Gold Gym. You feel the spirit of Arnold and Dave Draper coursing through the machines. The people here are as built as a human can be. At this point, you also start developing a bit of body dysmorphia. Every time you look into the mirror, all you see are flaws. Whenever you go to the gym, you compare yourself with bigger dudes and more aesthetic bodies. You have quite a decent body yourself, but you're unable to see that. You almost hate yourself more than when you began. At this stage, a dangerous idea creeps into your head. What if the only way to achieve perfection is to bend the rules? You convince yourself there's a safe path to steroids. Just one cycle and you're done. You pour through threads and forums. You plan your dosages, take your precautions, PCT and AI, and say it like a mantra. Only one cycle. Of course, that will never happen. Level 6. You down every compound you can find. Synthol injections, cycles, Jack 3D pre-workouts. No risk is too great. Your muscles balloon up and your shadow looks like a beast. You're an absolute monster and you put fear in men's heart. But it all comes with a high price. Deep down, you feel worse than ever before. Your body and mind have hit rock bottom. You have acne on your back and face. You have impotence, paranoia, depression, and bursts of rage. Your joints ache under strain, and your liver cries for mercy. Despite your hulking frame, your self-esteem is crumbling. Others fear the beast you have become, while inside you ache like a frightened child. Level 7. At this stage, you go back to the basics. You get rid of the kitchen of supplements and the laboratory of steroids. You read Mishima's Sun and Steel and gain a new perspective on gymming. You didn't start gymming to pump your body full of chemicals and diseases. You wanted beauty and ascension. You wanted absolute presence, courage and strength, which is a mental byproduct of you improving your body. You didn't seek depression and body dysmorphia. So, at this stage, you take a more personal, a more spiritual, and a more metaphysical part to fitness. You stop with your over-obsession with science, form, and nutrition. You start gymming for the pure enjoyment it gives you. You don't always need the perfect form or nutrients, or to look like the Hulk. There's beauty in the spiritual qualities. You start exercising outside, in the sun, using subpar form and nutrition, but still, you feel a new vitality within you. Even if you don't look like the Hulk, you're very happy and you're stronger than ever before.